Hi guys, so today we're going to talk about an amazing film I just watched called Fun and Fancy Free. I loved this film. Sure, it definitely has its problems, definitely. But the Mickey and the Beanstalk part, I loved that part. Like, Mickey and the Beanstalk, that was a wonderful part. Bongo's part was a little iffy on my part. I thought like the whole concept of like bear slapping and that's how they showed their affection was kind of weird, but I understood what it meant, is that they wanted to be different. I also don't think that teaching children to slap others is the best thing to teach children, but I don't think that's what they meant by it, so I think they just meant to have a good story, to have fun with it, so I kind of just put that aside. Yeah, Bongo was a little strange. It was a good, sweet story, but it definitely had its flaws. But oh my gosh, I loved Mickey and the Beanstalk. And knowing that both of these had been in development since 1930 made it even better, because these were supposed to be full-length feature films, but they weren't, as you know. They were both to be full-length feature films and be released, like I just said. And Walt thought that Mickey fighting giants and the Beanstalk story would be a fun idea, which I totally agree. And this would have been Mickey and Donald, and not Mickey, because he was in Fantasia, but Donald and Goofy's first full-length feature film. So I think that would have been so cool to see them in a full-length feature film and have that be that. So one interesting idea from the original full-length feature film was the idea that Mickey got the magic beans and sold it to Gideon and like different characters from Pinocchio to and sold that or cow to get the magic beans from them. I thought that was kind of weird. But another, which made a lot more sense to me, was that there was also an idea for Mickey to give a gift of the cow to the princess, who happened to be Minnie of their town, Happy Valley, and in exchange, Minnie gave him magic beans, and I thought that was super cool. So I love this movie. It was a great movie. I think more people should be talking about this movie. Some of the package era films, like, I understand why they don't get as much love as, like, Cinderella and Peter Pan, which came around the same time because they're package era films, but this film, I think, should be getting a lot more love than it's getting. Also, the war had ended by this time, but they were still making package era films because they were cheaper to make. And I think it was a great idea for them to make package era films during the World War II and after that time when they were low on money, because they were cheaper films than the full-length feature films. So it was a good way to make money and have been doing something before that, so they had a little revenue. It wasn't much, but they had a little revenue that they were making while they were having these other films that they were creating, which I think was a great idea on Walt's part. So the person, just a fun fact I didn't know, but it was super cool. The person who played Sneezy from Snow White played Willie the Giant, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. Dinah Shore was the narrator for the Bongo story. Edgar Bergen, I think I'm saying his name correctly, at least hopefully I am, did the dummy stuff. At first I was like, what are they doing with dummies in this movie? But then I was like, oh, they work. Well, yes, I think having live action characters would have not changed anything, but they wanted to do something different, would assume, because that's what Walt always wanted to do. And I don't think I've ever seen anything like that, where there was an animated character just listening to stories, and this guy is talking to this child and these dummies about the story. I don't think I've ever seen that in any other film. And I think it kind of worked. I think it was kind of like, oh, what are we gonna do to get more people to come to this film that are famous? It's needed someone who is famous, kind of, or to say it better, probably people we know the name. Like, if you said the name Katy Perry to someone, they would know who it was. But, if, I don't know, like, it was kind of weird to me, but I think it worked, so that's pretty cool. Some cut characters from Bongo's short were a chimpanzee and some crazy cubs that Bongo needed to look after. Originally, an idea for Bongo was to have it as a follow-up to Dumbo, because they're both circus animals. Of course, that was cut, as if you've seen the short today, the short that we have today, and the short that is on Disney Plus. You should go check out this movie if you haven't. It's wonderful. I've already said that at the start of the video, but it's a really good movie if you haven't watched it yet. And I just went off to saying it was a really good movie. So let's get back to where I was. So Bongo, as if you've seen the movie, that's not what they did. Bongo ran away from the circus because they weren't treating Bongo very well. And so he ran into the wild and met this other bear, and he slapped this big bear. And I'm not going to spoil it for any of you who haven't watched it, but it's kind of weird. But it's still a really, really, really good movie. I loved it. I would very much so recommend it to you if you haven't watched it. I would say it's probably, sadly, because I wasn't able to watch Make Mine Music, I can't say anything for that movie, but it's probably close to Three Caballeros. So it's probably roughly those two are close to each other. And I love Three Caballeros. If you see my other video that I just did over Three Caballeros, you know I liked it. But, ooh, wow, was the last part weird. So go check that video out if you haven't. Me and my sister love making these videos for you guys. I really hope you are enjoying going on this Disney adventure as much as I am, and I hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. Have a nice day. Bye. Stay safe.